I was married the first time for 16 years and went through a very painful divorce, and was a single mom for 11 years. And I didn't know much about the internet and networking, and what's exploded today would have made a huge difference in my life. And I've been married 4 years the second time around, and when you brought up about kind of doing a case study with your wife and living it, and how to, having been divorced yourself and learning on the curve along the way, and how to work on a relationship and those kind of things, and to kind of foolproof it. I mean, marriage is work. Yeah. And so I have my story, going through that without going through all the nitty-gritty details. It was a tough road. I mean, I have some experiences that, I think I talked to Jared the other day walking down the staircase, and I have a book in me.
You have a book in you.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what kind of book or the title yet?
I'm still working on that. I had one that came off sounding embittered at one point, because it's not, and that's not who I am.
Do you remember what I told you while we were talking? What my suggestion was for you?
Just start writing it.
Start writing the
chapter and doing the outline, and I think I could help a lot of people. I think sometimes, when Jordan was talking about his project in Wisconsin, and I have, each one of my children have been impacted. I mean, you can't go through something like that and not be impacted. And I have a son that's actually in rehab. I have a 17-year-old son who, he just turned 18, and the happy, I guess, sad part of that is that he decided to continue with the program when he could have walked. So that was good. But I just feel like, as parents, we take on, it's just a huge responsibility, and there's so much that people go through in life, and I just want them to feel like they're alone, like, things that they've gone through, that other people can make it through and get to the other side, kind of go through that refiner's fire.
Yeah, let me ask you this. So what is it going to feel like a year from now, 3 years from now, when you have already written the book, you've already created the program, you've already helped many people overcome some of the challenges that you have faced in the past? How is that going to make you feel in that moment?
That's going to make me feel like the growth, the suffering, all the things that I went through, there was a purpose and a reason to it. I mean, I don't think any of this goes on to be a poster child for anything, but there's always somebody that has something that impacts their life, and there's always going to be somebody behind you that has something happen, and we're here on this planet to help one another.
So as you have that vision in mind, what is the one thing you need to do right now to move closer to that vision?
I need to live it. I need to be an example of what I want to help. I mean, I have to walk the walk.
You have to walk the walk. Okay. What else?
I have to continue to surround myself with people that are going to pull me forward.
Great. What else?
I have to formulate a plan. I can't just throw a dart out there and hope it's going to work.
How can we help you formulate that plan? Where do you feel stuck on formulating that plan?
I think going back to organizing my thoughts and really finding my target audience and the people that I can serve the best.
You guys have any thoughts on organizing kind of a niche and organizing our thoughts?
How long have you wanted to do this?
Probably in the last 10 years.
Wow. So would it be fair to say that for 10 years you have persisted with disorganized thoughts that need to be organized?
I knew that I wanted to make a difference. It's like when you're a single mom and you're paying the bills, and it's paycheck to paycheck, and you just, you're not thinking the big further picture. It's like, get them dressed, get to school, do your job, come home, do dinner, bedtime routine. It's just
So my question then, maybe asked a different way, is what stopped you from organizing your thoughts?
me.
So a couple thoughts. First of all, and anyone that's a single parent, God bless you. Like what you went through to do that, God bless you guys. Amazing situation. And I've had the privilege to coach so many people that have been in your situation. And what's happening is you're breaking through right now. You're here. You're making that move, but part of your mind is still stuck in that single struggling parent, just trying to scrape by on the day-to-day. That's where there's part of it there, so we have to break through and have a bigger vision. So it's the mindset. It always starts with the mindset, does it not?
Pillar number one.
Does it not start with mindset? Yeah. And you're here and you're starting to break through, but you're not quite there yet. You're still kind of making excuses for not taking action. I said, why don't you start writing an outline for your book? Those are the things that I would recommend. Start taking baby steps right now. Any other thoughts on specific actions for yourself? Anything else you think you could do tomorrow?
I have my morning routine. I get up, I get up early, I go for a walk, I try to listen to motivational things. I don't have the excuses I have anymore. I'm actually an empty nester now, my youngest, and I recently moved to Estes Park with my new husband. And we manage properties up there. That's what he does. And so I'm still I'm a teacher by trade, so I feel like that teaching part of it, writing a book, speaking, I have these aspirations. I just need to put them into place.
So you recognize a niche that you're passionate about, and there's a need for it. You've recognized talents that you have that will help market and promote what you want to do. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah.
I have a question. You started by saying that you wanted to be a business coach. My experience is business owners primarily trade in two currencies, money and time. I've heard you talk about a lot of really cool stuff and ways that you can impact and empathize, connect via your story. I didn't hear much of it that had much to do with business or either of those two currencies. Why business coaching?
Well, I think my story can impact people, and I think I'm in the mid-season of life, and I think a lot of people think that their boat has sailed.
So maybe let me ask a clarification question. What do you mean by business coaching?
Well, I want to help entrepreneurs that maybe they've felt like it's too late, or my life didn't go the way I planned it, and so I can't get ahead.
Too late to become an entrepreneur.
Right.
So you're actually wanting to help people who are not yet entrepreneurs but harbor this dream.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, that feels like almost more like life coaching people into starting a business.
Sure, it's interesting. So
words matter. I'm not trying to be picky.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like more of kind of a life coaching model. From what I'm hearing right now, maybe might make more sense than the straight up business coaching. That's what you're kind of getting at. That's what you're digging into a little bit, Jeff.
Yeah, it's without question, you're not clear who you want to have as your, what I call your market, your niche audience. And that's fine. That's why we're here, right? We're here to get clear on, is it business coaching? Is it, see, I don't think it is. I don't think Jeff thinks it is. I don't think Jared thinks it is. I think it's coaching. But I think it's very specific niche, almost like crisis coaching, right? Based on what you've gone through. That target audience is probably divorced females, perhaps single parents right now, maybe on the road to becoming entrepreneurs. But the more clear you can get on that demographic and that audience that you want to find, obviously the quicker you can connect with them message-wise, and the faster you'll move when it comes to execution, because the clarity equals the speed and the momentum and ultimately the results. When you get really clear into who that audience is, and you're not going to do it right this second, we have like 4 minutes and 40 seconds left, but you can think about this, because this is something that you want to dwell on and think about and study. You need to study oftentimes to find who your audience is. Most people don't want to study anymore, but as I like to say, school is never out for a pro. You have to keep studying. So you're going to need to study the market a little bit and figure out who your audience is, and that's going to help you get really clear. And that's probably going to get you unstuck. You're most likely stuck for a decade, literally a decade right now, because you're not quite clear who you can do this work for. And that is such a little thing, but such a massive leap when you finally know who you're for.
Right. And I mean, my story's not over yet. I mean, I went through, there's been so many nuggets. Like, something that you said the first night about how, you know, the universe, for whatever happens that's over here, there's something waiting good on the other side, and karma. And I feel like, you know, I was in this dark place, and right now I'm happy. I'm happier than I've ever been.
Good.
And I just want to pull other people forward and go, you know, you don't have to live in this space. You can be over here.
I love
Come on, Josh, just because there's just a slew of people that want to become coaches that come just to kind of pick my brain and things like that. One thing you said was, it's almost like you wanted to have your life perfect before you started coaching other people to some degree. Like you wanted to be perfect, and certainly, you know, when I think about, you know, our methodology, we believe to be awesome in every single area of life. I mean, that's the belief system. Every single 8 different key areas of your life, we believe to be awesome in every single key area of your life, and we work on that. But there are moments in my life where I'm not 100% awesome in every single area in that moment.
Come on.
Can you believe that?
Can't. Cannot.
And so, always in relationships though, right, honey?
Yes.
But can you imagine if I said, well, no, I don't think I can coach on life and holistically because I'm not living a 10 out of 10 in every single area of your life. So I just want you to be aware that you might be waiting human beings aren't perfect human beings, so you might be waiting just a little bit too long before you start taking action. Certainly you want to get better and improve, and there's a level of confidence that happens through that, but coaching is about the process to help people as well. So thinking through the process that will help deliver the value, and being able to deliver that process doesn't mean you have to be perfect every single day.
Right, and I've been working on mindset, where I was 10 years ago, and who would want to listen to me? You know, what have I got to offer? Where now it's like, I've got a lot to offer. I've lived through some stuff, you know. So I wanna share that. I wanna help other people, and ultimately, you know, I wanna help people shorten their learning curve.
Got it. When are you gonna have, because I am gonna suggest that with coaching, definitely you have to niche down if you want to be successful, especially when you're starting out, you don't have a big base of satisfied clients. If you're a coach to women who've been divorced in the last 6 months and are trying to go through some transition, if you're a coach to empty nesters who feel like they've lost their sense of purpose because they don't get to micromanage their kids every day, if you're a coach to one of these specific case scenarios, you're going to get a lot more traction a lot more quickly. What date, a goal without a date, or it's just a wish, what date are you going to have your message to the market defined about what you are as a coach and who you're looking for?
Within the next 6 months.
How could you make that sooner than that?
That's a long time.
I didn't know, so I threw.
So this message thing is like 6 days. It's not even a week. It's literally something that you hustle to get.
Pick a door.
You pick a door, you go down it, and it might take a couple books, it might take a couple more audios, it's gonna take an event like this. But this is something that you put, and this is instructive for all of you, is you don't let yourself have these big, long, drawn-out deadlines. Because what you're doing is you're giving yourself more comfort. You should be giving yourself more discomfort. It's way more uncomfortable when I say you should have this deadline by next Friday.
I was going to ask if you could tell me, are you going to be
By Sunday.
on the boat?
Yes.
Are you running the yacht? Are you Excel or Octo Mastery?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so you actually have till the end of tomorrow to let us know. That's good.
We already said nobody's going home without being part of Octo Mastery, so obviously you're being part of Octo Mastery. You can come on the boat with us Sunday if you want. We are going on a boat. We might find your message on the Pacific Ocean on Sunday. I mean, that's very possible. We're so good at what we do, right? But I think it's one of those things where you want to rush to find that message within days, not months. Can you do that? You think you can do that?
I can do that.
Okay.
Are you excited to do that?
I am.
Are you excited to not be wondering who you are anymore?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's been a journey. It's brought me to the States, so.
Awesome. Signed up for a reason.
Listen, I'll tell you this, Deborah, before we wrap here, and we're going to go to some Q&A here in a little bit, because I know you guys have tons of questions, and we want to make some time available for all of you, is you have the right attitude and the right demeanor right now. We've brought people up on the stage. I've coached people one-on-one. Jeff has. Jared, I could sit here and listen to you all night, Coach. I brought you to listen to you, Coach, but I have to get my 2 cents once in a while. But he's so good at what he does, and half the battle is having the right attitude to be ready for it. And your attitude is amazing right now. Your attitude, I didn't know you before you came in here, but your attitude is primed. It's marinating right now for success, and that's for all of you. So important is that the attitude has to be ready to receive the action that will follow. And so few, that's the case. So you're like 1 foot in the door already. And for you, congrats on that, and sorry to hear what you've gone through, but now turn it into a win in a business, in an income stream, in profit, in revenue, in creating value and building communities, all available to you if you are willing to take it. Sounds like you are. Give her a round.